the earliest of early access builds, Wyll didn't have his little,
Provoke the blade and suffer its sting.
Smash Bros. Reveal trailer. He shows up to the fight at the Druid's Grove, but we don't actually get to meet him until we go inside and we find him training up the Tiefling children to die in agony on the battlefield. Umi still defeatedly tells Wyll that he isn't able to sword fight, but rather than getting down on his knee to rally the boy's spirits like he does in the full release, early access Wyll pivots to talking about himself, and the camera cuts to a wide with Wyll's arms outstretched like he's a pro wrestler trying to amp up the crowd. When the Illithid tadpole connects the player's mind to his, we see Mizora's face rather than Karlach's, and when the connection cuts out, early access Wyll's gut reaction is to center his own physical discomfort, and then warn the player against pushing too far into someone else's thoughts. This is an immediate and stark difference, right? Wyll's interactions with Umi and our psychic connection are a big part of our first impressions of him in the early access and in the full release of the game, but they tell two completely different stories. While the full release version of Wyll comes off as unambiguously kind, gentle, and almost fatherly, the early access version of Wyll is more like an older brother who's just as likely to pull you in for a hug as he is to put you in a headlock. Side note, but I'm going to keep differentiating between Wyll's pre-launch and post-launch characterization by calling him full release Wyll and early access Wyll, which I'm just now realizing kind of makes it sound like we get into his pants early or something, and that's not the case. He's just as chaste in early access as he is in the full release, but okay, let's proceed. Easy access Wyll still reacts generally favorably to any good deeds that the player wants to perform. He wants to be seen as the legend that the folk hero on his character sheet makes him out to be. But chatting with him at camp, or adventuring out in the world with him, reveals that there's something off about early access Wyll. He is all too eager to discuss the exploits of the famed Blade of Frontiers, but he often misspeaks. He mispronounces words, he misuses idioms, and he tries to make up witty catchphrases in the moment and just falls flat on his face every time. He tells little white lies, he tries to flirt with the companions in a way that's just all unbefitting of a person of his renown. It all kind of comes together to give the player a sense that there's something else going on here. The Blade of Frontiers is a front, and he's only playing at being the charismatic hero type. Underneath it, there's something else going on, and we don't really get a sense of what that is until we actually get into his story. So, what is his story?